Hello guys, welcome back to the after show portion of this wonderful Big Apple School podcast episode where we were talking about not drinking, but binge watching TV and a bit of binge drinking too in between the filming of the episode and this after show. We were talking about our wonderful drinking habits.
Yeah.
But
wow, come on, just go and spill it. Hey, excuse you.
Yes.
Let's stick to binge watching.
But binging, yes, is definitely a wonderful topic. So tell us about your experience of binging and what are your habits when you binge?
It's interesting that I used to binge watch a lot, like really a lot. But now I don't really watch TV shows, like rarely. And it's kind of, nice, not nice, but just big change, I would say, in my life. Because I used to binge watch one show after another. And as I have mentioned in the main part, so I keep a list of TV shows that I watched, and it's currently at 84, 85 TV shows. So yeah, but now...
How many hours do you think that is?
So you know what? Don't do this at home, really.
Don't try that on.
Don't try that, but... There are certain websites where you put all the TV shows you watch, how many times you watch them, from what season to what season. Just so you understand, I watched The Big Bang Theory 4 times from the beginning till the very end.
Wait a second. So all these series are English series. Any Spanish? Because I know you're learning Spanish.
Have you
tried any Spanish?
I've recently started watching La Casa de Papel.
Okay.
Like the Money Heist, but in Spanish. Anywho, so I used this website and it said that I spent 3 weeks of my life on TV shows.
3 solid weeks.
3 solid weeks. And that was the moment when I thought, Jesus Christ, 3 weeks. Because usually when you watch a TV show, you don't normally get distracted because the moment, you look away for a second and something already happens. So yeah, but now I sometimes ask myself a question, like I read less right now, I watch less TV show right now, but why? And I've realized that that's because most of the time that I have right now, I spend either on working, because I've got 2 jobs at the moment, or studying, or doing something to get closer to my goals. Oh, I know I sound annoying right now. Anywho, so yeah. But before that,
it was, mine was also excessive.
Yeah.
Before, like 2 or 3, especially during the pandemic. Yeah.
What was the maximum amount of hours that you've ever binge watched a show?
Oh God, probably about 6 hours.
5 hours. Yeah.
About 5.
It was lost back in the day, and you are guilty. So 10 hours. Oh,
well,
no.
okay. Let me explain.
Okay.
10 hours.
So the maximum, and I clearly remember that it might have been like between 10 and 12 hours. Why? It was March 2020. The pandemic just hit. It was March. I was in the US teaching at Wellesley College, and March was also the time of spring break. So it's spring break, COVID, everything was closed. The library was closed. The bloody Starbucks was closed. Literally everything. The only place open in the city, in the town, was CVS pharmacy. So I couldn't even go to the shop because people, were looking at each other suspiciously. So the only thing I could do was stay at home. But what did I do? What did I have to do at home? Coloring and watching TV shows. So I binge watched the whole season of You, moved on to rewatching Doctor Who, and also using the services of wine delivery. Hard times.
Sorry, no.
Well, the reason why I asked you how many hours that is because that is directly contributing to your English skills. If you watch a lot of TV shows, it's going to absolutely bring you to the next level of amazing English.
Okay, check out the previous, the podcast episode we had on learning and watching, but it's not always the case. And I noticed that now that we advise our students, to watch but it depends on what you do with a TV show. Because I watched several episodes of The Money Heist in Spanish, and I'm like, oh, I wonder, they always use these 2 words. I wonder what they mean. Well, surprisingly, they mean damn, or something a bit more harsh than that, and something like bloody. So both of them being like swear words or something like an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Okay. So I learned 3 new words from these 3 episodes that I probably not going to use until I get, some sort of excellent command of Spanish. So, and tend to ignore the hard grammar because you don't know it yet. So yeah, it depends on what you do with an episode then. If you just watch it, you practice your listening. If you do the shadowing, your intonation, great thing. The vocabulary,
or the grammar or the vocabulary.
Yeah, but it depends on what you do.
Well, I kind of binge watched Peaky Blinders last year. I didn't finish the whole.
Oh my God.
The whole thing, but it is great.
It is so great.
And I watched it. Well, obviously I'm a native speaker of English, but I watched it with Russian subtitles, and I used that as a way
Peaky Blinders. I binge watched it too. God, I love this show.
Well, wait, did you watch it? Well, of course you watched it without Russian subtitles.
Of course, without.
Because you wouldn't know if the subtitles were accurate, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I watched it with English subtitles because without the subtitles at all, to understand Brommy accent.
It's very tricky.
Oh. But I love this accent so much. I'm going to have a soft spot for it. Okay. Sorry, but we'll get distracted for a second. Why is it that every time somebody from Britain is asked, what's the worst accent in the UK, they say Brommy accent? Why?
Because I'm not going to.
Okay. We'll talk about it later.
Is it racism?
Racially biased.
Am I racist?
What about Cockney? I thought it was kind of indifferent.
We're going to talk about it, Benjamin.
Cockney is kind of dying.
Oh, really?
It is
the central London kind of accent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, East London. It's kind of dying out, but there are offshoots of it that exists.
So Benjamin binge watched Peaky Blinders with his least favorite accent over there through the whole show.
But the older Brumley accents are pretty cool, actually. The older accents are really cool, but now the newer ones are, let's just say they're not to my taste.
Okay. All right.
No, some are really cool. Some northern accents are great. I mean, Manchester accent's quite friendly.
Okay.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about accents. We're here to talk about binging on.
It's like, Benjamin once a podcast mentions aviation. I mention accents, apparently.
Well, I love accents too. It is a fun topic for sure.
We should have a separate video about accents.
I do agree, for sure.
Stay tuned.
Would work, yeah.
Okay.
So do you feel guilty if you binge watch?
Not really.
No.
Really?
I already decided to do that action and just prepare myself to do that. So I don't need to deal with anything else while watching that thing.
Well, I know actually that a lot of people feel guilty after binge watching because we live in the age, of this productivity, success, time management and all this stuff. So
that's why it happened in holidays. That's why I couldn't do it in the
time management thing. Yeah, because we live in a hustle. Well, maybe hustle culture is kind of on the way out, but hustle culture makes us feel guilty about. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily. I mean, it is good to be productive and it is good to make the most out of your day. But
do you feel guilty?
Not really. I don't feel guilty when I watch too much. I mean, I don't watch it if I have stuff to do.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
First clear what's on your plate, then you do whatever you want. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Ollie, do you feel guilty?
Not really, because again, if I have something to do or if I have to go to bed, I'm like, okay, so I'll just finish here. I always know when to stop. I'm not like, that a binge watcher.
I have a curious statistics about that actually. Do you mind if I share?
Do you have some stats you want to share with us?
Yeah.
Please do.
But the thing is that the stats are more about Britain. So you just said, I'll never sacrifice my sleep. And it's interesting that 80% of binge watchers in the UK have sacrificed sleep to continue watching a TV show.
No,
80%.
No way.
Okay. Really? You've never had a situation when you kind of like, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep later. I'll just watch one more episode.
But not that late. But, 1 hour, 2 hours, but not like the whole night. Or.
Well, I do it with YouTube. Yeah, I do like to step quite late.
Yeah, I sacrifice my sleep.
Oh, I for sure
not
have.
Specifically for the binge watching, but yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say sacrificing sleep. I watch it till I feel sleepy.
In my case, I've definitely had situations when I was like, okay, I'm going to stay up max till midnight or maybe 1 a.m. And then the episode ends with a cliffhanger. And I'm like, I need answers. I need answers right now. So I would stay up until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. But that was back when I was in my early 20s. So now if I don't get my 7 hours of sleep, I'll be dead next day. Do you want to hear another stats?
Whip them out.
Yep.
I have 3 more facts. So half of the television viewers have binge watched 8 hours of a TV show in one go. Half. So 50% of people watch 8 hours and more.
In one go, right?
In one go. So I'm not the only crazy one over there. 50% of watchers are with me. Yay. What else? Oh, this one is interesting. Nearly a quarter of us, so 25%, have lied about watching a series because other people were talking about it.
It's kind of like
a judgment.
It's kind of like football. Like I pretend to know everything about football.
Why do you think that? Why do you think people lie about watching a show when they really haven't?
Well, like I said about, I compared it to football. People want to belong to a club.
Yeah. Like not to be black sheep, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Not to be a black sheep. Exactly. And
Have you ever done that?
Not really.
I've only done it with football. Not
With
done
football?
it with, not with TV.
I think it's kind of, I cannot imagine doing it because when you say, yeah, have you watched the last episode of the Game of Thrones?
Like a social acceptance, maybe.
Yeah, but what if they ask you another question and
Right.
additional questions and you're like, I don't remember. No, it doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. One more fact that I have is 1 in 5 British workers, so which makes it 20%, admits to calling in sick to stay at home and binge watch
binge-watching.
TV.
No way.
20% have lied to their boss, just to stay home and binge watch. And it's sad statistics. 1 in 5.
It's quite a lot, actually.
Have you ever done that?
No, I don't really call in sick. The last time I was sick was during COVID.
Yeah.
That was like over a year ago.
But it's kind of a, alarming statistics. So people are ready to sacrifice their sleep to call in sick, which means, they're going to be paid less, obviously, for that, just to keep watching the TV show.
It's okay if you're actually sick, but...
then you can kind of,
then that's different.
I binge watched Shrek movies, like I watched 4 in one day when I had COVID because I literally could not move. I was just lying like, okay, let me just watch it. Even though sometimes I did not really understand what was happening because I was, kind of feeling off because it was COVID. So, yeah.
Any other statistics you want to share with us?
Not the statistics, but I have a question. Is there any TV show that you kind of anticipate in 2023?
Highly anticipated TV show. I always love Air Crash Investigation. If we could come back to that topic.
On YouTube.
You and your documentaries and everything.
Unfortunately, in order to produce Air Crash Investigations, you have to have real air crashes in real life.
So it's better if you don't have anything to watch on the topic, huh?
It's going to be the new one because of the Nepal crash happened.
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, that was sad.
Apart from this macabre thing that Benjamin watches, what about you guys? Is there anything you anticipate?
Not really.
Not really?
Really? Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. What about you?
Well, since I'm a veteran Whovian, I'm waiting for the new season of Doctor Who, which will have David Tennant as...
that's what you mean by Whovian.
Whovian, yeah.
You have your own name for the club.
Of course, the fandom.
Yeah, sure.
It's like people, the fans of Sherlock call themselves Sherlocked. People who love both Doctor Who and Sherlock call themselves Who-locked. No, Who-locked. Like Doctor Who and Sherlock.
Yeah, right.
People who are into Doctor Who, we are Whovians. And our fandom is bigger on the inside. So, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who, and this year the thing is that this year is not really rich in episodes, so there's going to be 1 episode or maybe 2 episodes per year. One of them is going to celebrate 60th anniversary of Doctor Who TV show. 23rd of November.
A special episode.
Yeah. And we've been waiting for that for quite a time,
Longer than usual, the episode length is going to be longer.
Absolutely. So I'm waiting for that. They say there is a rumor going that there might be a new season of Arcane, but it's still a rumor, so I don't really think that it's going to come out so soon. There is going to be a spin-off of The Boys, which is called Gen V, and they say it's going to be even gorier than The Boys, which is kind of hard to imagine, I have to say. So we'll see. But we've had some TV shows coming out lately that kind of, were long anticipated and were really popular. You know anything about that?
Well, there's Wednesday coming up.
Wednesday, yeah.
I haven't seen that. I've just heard everyone says Wednesday.
Yeah.
I've just watched a short clip about
everywhere.
that. I'm
Well,
not into it.
it's more of a young adult, I think.
Yeah.
So, but
Christopher Ricci was
Wednesday
better.
hit the charts. I'd say Dharma, actually, the one that I binge watched.
That was
on the top of the
one
list.
my
And
list,
now there is another show that started to come out in January 2023, and everyone's waiting for the next episodes because it's the old school way of releasing one episode a week, maybe even 2 weeks. The Last of Us, based on a video game with Pedro Pascal.
I played the game, but I haven't watched the series yet.
Well,
so
because there's only one episode that is out.
I haven't started, so maybe that's
So
going to
yeah,
be
they
the next
say
best thing.
they say it's going to be the next best show
Mm-hmm.
of 2023.
Cool.
So yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Well, one last question I guess we can ask. What features do these streaming platforms use to keep us hooked to the shows?
Suggestions, I guess.
Mhm.
One of
Oh,
them.
for sure, suggestions. I mean, Netflix does the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
When one episode ends, they
Skip the intro.
First of all, skip the intro. Then when the episode ends, you
The
have
ones
5
who
seconds.
watch that also watch this, and they put all
More than that, when you finish an episode, in 5 seconds, it automatically plays the next
the
one.
next one. Yeah.
And you're like, before you click, no, it's already started. You're like, okay.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
so-
You're
Yes, the autoplay function can, if someone looks through your browser history, it can be quite embarrassing because the autoplay function can.
Yeah.
Reminders. They're
Yeah.
sending reminders all day, like an emails and notifications
Yeah.
on your like an app.
May I ask another question?
Yeah, go on.
So you know how there is comfort food?
Mm.
Wait for a second. You know, like the food you kind of eat to feel better when you've had a hard day and everything. So I believe that there's also comfort TV shows.
shows.
The shows you've watched already, many multiple times maybe.
You can also apply that for movies too.
For movies,
Yeah.
yeah. So what are your comfort TV shows that you've watched many times, but you're still going to come back to them?
Air Crash.
South Park for sure.
Family Guy, first seasons.
Benjamin and his Air Crash.
I feel you, brother.
Family Guy and
Family Guy, the first season.
South Park.
South
Park.
Park.
Yeah, that works too.
Okay.
That works too.
I'm the only sitcom person there, huh? Because for me, it would be like The Big Bang Theory. I've watched it 5 times, and Doctor Who because it's Doctor Who.
Well, my best friend has watched the Big Bang. What is it?
Big Bang Theory.
Bang
Oh, everyone
yeah.
talks about that. Yeah, what's up
Yeah.
with that show? Everyone talks about it. Yeah.
It's just nice. You
That
don't.
was nice back in the day. Right.
I mean,
I
It's
don't
still
know.
nice.
I've
It's
alright.
tried it. Not really my thing. You know, I prefer
Well,
black humor in that
Tastes
sense.
differ.
Yeah,
Tastes
yeah.
differ.
What about the movie? Any
The what?
Any movie
Terminator.
preferences?
Oh, I don't watch movies, so don't know what to say.
Die Hard.
What my favorite ever movie?
No.
Your comfort movie.
Oh, comfort movie.
The one you would
all right.
rewatch. What documentary is it going to be, Benjamin?
Well, movie. Oh, all right. Let's keep it to it. I've said before, my favorite movie of all time is Saving Private Ryan.
That is a good one.
It's a bit long, just for like a quick rewatch.
Mhm. But it's worth for that. Yeah, rewatch.
I
Yeah,
guess-
free.
I guess you could
3.5
rewatch
hours,
it.
yeah.
But good question. I mean, I love any Brat 1, Brat 2.
Okay.
They're Russian films. Really good. I can watch them over
Right.
and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Brother.
Especially, Brother 2.
Mhm,
Exactly. Brother 2, especially. I find out something new every time I rewatch it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, Brat 2.
Guys,
What
let
about you?
us.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't watch movies.
You don't watch movies.
So
all
for
right.
me, it's easy. There are none.
All right. So yours was the Terminator. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I was just wondering what our listeners' comfort TV shows or comfort movies are, because it's always interesting to hear about other people's choices and
Yeah,
preferences.
really
So,
nice.
guys, let us know. And I'm pretty sure whatever TV show you mentioned, that's going to lead to a really nice discussion in our chat.
And like I said previously, leave a movie review or film show, TV show
Yeah.
review. Practice your English skills in the after show chats. That's what it's there for. And also make use of the vocabulary list that accompanies this episode. So, guys, thank you very much for listening right to the end. Thank you for being part of the community. And we'll see you next time.
Stay
See ya.
tuned.
Bye.
Bye-bye.